Okay, so here we are live, and it is September 3rd, 2024, and I'm going to go over, I know that says pre-market analysis. It is not pre-market analysis. So what we're going to do is we're going to be going over the trades today as they played out. So I'll have to pull that off there. But basically, we're going to go over the trades as they played out today. Okay, so we got in Nasdaq and ES. I was in gold and oil early. So gold and oil early this morning. And then after the US stock market opened, we got into Nasdaq and ES and rode those down. Some people got in earlier than me, some a little after. I was at the coffee shop trading. I actually did it on my phone. It was a nice day for that, actually. Again, yesterday we didn't expect movement because it was a bank holiday. So a bank holiday, things don't always move that great. It's more range bound. It's messy. It's sloppy. So I actually took the day off and didn't trade at all yesterday. I worked on other stuff. Well, then today we expect to move because things have been sitting stagnant for not just 2 days over the weekend, but for 3. So with the bank holiday, basically, I sat out and didn't take any trades till yesterday evening. So again, gold and oil are the first 2 things I look to take. 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm looking to get into gold and oil. And then after that, we will, once the U.S. stock market opens at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, then I look to get into ES, NASDAQ, Russell, the Dow, one of those 4 items, if not multiple. Okay. So let me pull up our charts here. All right. So we're going to get into charting. And basically, here is what happened since yesterday evening. So this right here is a 445 candle. I was still sleeping. So it had pulled down, and right there is about the 630 candle. Yeah, it says 503 at the bottom. And then we had sideways movement in here. And then we had a break the sideways movement after 8:30. Now, again, I don't look to get into ES and NASDAQ till I'm already in gold and oil. So I was in gold and oil, between the hours of 8 and 9:30. At 9:30, the U.S. stock market opens. So we look to get into a trade with what's going on again, S&P, Dow, Russell, NASDAQ. Those are the 4 that we look to get into a trade in. And you ask which one is the best? Well, they all have their little, pros and cons. NASDAQ, I think anyone should stay away from that until you learn to master maybe ES or Russell or Dow. Just don't even bother with NASDAQ, because NASDAQ will take you out. Now, I'm going to tell you this, and hopefully he doesn't watch. You see a big move. That's a big bearish move. I'm sorry. I mean, you can't fake that. That is a big bearish move. So we were in short all day long. And I know somebody that just kept taking longs. They took a few longs, took some losses, because as it pulled down, I hear it all the time, surely it's moved enough, it has to pull back. Well, my answer to that is no. No, it does not. Okay, just because we've had a good bearish push down doesn't mean we're going to get a big pullback. Just because it has a big bullish move up does not mean we're going to get a big pullback. So for the people that, as it's going down, say, well, surely that's the bottom, I'm going to buy. And then they buy, they get stopped out. Well, surely it's gone enough. And they buy, it's gone up sideways for a while, and then they get stopped out. Well, surely now it's gone far enough. Well, surely now it's got far enough. Well, surely now it's gone far enough. Surely now it's gone far enough. Well, surely now it's gone far enough. And they finally might get in a winning trade. Or if they're scalpers, okay, they wait on the big push down and then they try and get in and scalp a little bit. Okay, that was the case today. It went down. Okay, it's moved down quite a bit. I'm going to scalp me, and just I'm going to scalp it and get a little whatever 20, 30, 40, 50 tick move. Okay, they're getting this little push, little push, little push, little push, little push, little push, where someone else getting in the trade, okay, at the break of a zone or whatever, is writing that down on runners. It's a little easier to put on a good trade at the beginning of the market, close out partial, and let the runners go and sit in runners all day long, just moving your stop along the way versus getting in and trying to get in long, trying to get in long, trying to get in long, trying to make a little bit here and there. I would rather trade with the move, trade with the trend, trade with the momentum. So we had, let's see, this right here was from about 4:30 a.m. today. So we had a nice push down from 4:30 to 5:30. So about an hour push. Okay, that's during the London session. So we had an hour push during the London session, sideways movement. It broke down past the lows, pulled back up to test this area as support and resistance, and then dropped from there. Now here's around the 9:30 mark over in here. Right there's 9:30 candle. Okay, so that timed out perfectly between the stock market open. So you look at that previous move, and this is from 6 o'clock yesterday. You see it starting to push bearish, pull back, starting to push bearish, sideways. We get another pullback to the high, doesn't break it, bigger swing down. Okay, we're bearish. Don't ignore the signs. Push sideways, pulled down before 9:30, pulled back to test this area. Guess what? U.S. stock market opens. We're in. We're in short. We're in because of the movement, not because the U.S. stock market opened at 9:30. Don't get the two confused. It's not 9:30, U.S. stock market open, boom, let's pick a direction, long or short. We're in at the start of the U.S. stock market because that's when we trade S&P, Dow, Russell, and Nasdaq. Okay, we trade it only the first few hours of the U.S. stock market. So at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, that's what we're looking to get in. Okay, so we're in short. We ride it to the zone. We have runners on. So you close partial here, leave runners on. We left runners on. Runners, it goes down, touches, pulls back, goes down, tests our zone, pushes through a 4-hour trend line, and then just keeps going. Okay, so here it kind of slowed down, sideways for a while, down, but it still kept pushing. And right now, we've had a good pushback and it's closing. So I close out before 5 on this brokerage account that's connected to this this charting. That's what I have to do. I have to close before 5. So I've already closed out my runners. And I actually had, runners on from up here, put on a full contract. How many ever made a contract you are trading with? Let's say it's 10. I use that as an example. Put on 10, it pulls down, close partial of 8, let 2 run. It moves down. Each of these pullbacks is an opportunity. Pullback, put some more on, pullback. So I did add 2 more trades down in here. And then late in the day, toward the end, during power hour, I actually got into, right before power, got into another multi-contract trade. Still had runners on, but got into another, and that pushed as well. And then I recently closed out here I think it was about 20 minutes, right at 4. Yeah. So right at 4 o'clock. So it was on this little pullback right there. So that pullback candle right there is where I actually closed. So I'm not in it right now. So big bearish move. And again, I would rather get in on something like this and let my runners ride versus trying to get in multiple trades. This to me, this runner, and you guys that are in the Discord, I posted the stuff. One of the runners, I don't remember which, where I had two on, it was up like 400 or 500. The other was up a few hundred. I got to the point where I had three runners on, and all three of those runners total was about $1,000 just on the three runners. So that is bonus. The runners are bonus. They're not what I need per day to lock in to make a monthly paycheck. The runners are full on bonuses. Okay. So let's go down to NASDAQ. So NASDAQ, same move. I mean, you know they're going to move in sync. So they're going to look very, very similar. Okay. And if you look from Sunday night, it pushed down, pulled back, same thing. So we had a nice bearish push, and it just happened to retrace back to our 4-hour zone. So imagine that. So pop back to a 4-hour zone, pulled down, broke an old uptrend line, pulled down. That's trending up a hair. I mean, it's more sideways to me than anything, but yes, it's going up slightly. And then the break of that channel, the break of that move, then if you look at this candle right here, well, 933. So 933, bam, we're in that one. So again, it's not that we're just looking at the U.S. stock market and saying, okay, bell rang, it's 9:30 in the morning, let's place trade. We analyzed beforehand. I was not looking I didn't switch over to this right at 9:30. We had already gotten in gold and oil trade. We're just managing runners. And then before the U.S. stock market, we kind of look at the chart and go, okay, here's what I see. I see us pulling off a 4-hour zone. And then also we broke a old uptrend line. It's sideways. If it breaks the low, which would be here, so you can come in and draw a ray tool off this low right here. And you say, okay, if that low is broke, I'm in. I see that as further confirmation, further bearish confirmation that it's going to go down. So again, same thing. You're letting your runners ride is what you're doing. And then we actually were trading, and I know the guy I was in there with had drawn a trend line across these right here. He had it originally from like here to here, extended it out. And then this area respected it. So as you see, that's more of that pendant formation or flag formation. We have a straight line bottom, and then we have an angled top. It looks more like a pendant. So that's that flag formation. So we're seeing lower highs, but we're seeing the lows about in the same price area. I know they're fluctuate a little. So that's what we were looking at. We're seeing these right here, and we were going, okay, is it going to keep going short? I mean, this is what we were talking about. Is it going to keep going short? It's really hitting that bottom. And he's like, well, that's, he was expecting a turn. Well, I'm not. I'm in short, and I want to ride my runners. So until this trend line's broke, and until I see a high and a low formed, then I'm not in. I don't get in long. I don't close my short and get in long. I have to see it break that trend line, and then I have to see it break the high back here. Those are the two things it has to do for me to say that the trend's over. And I'll take this one off so you can see it a little better. So again, I'm looking at it bouncing on the bottom. And for me, I'm going to hold my short. The only way I would close my short and get in long is if it broke this trend line. You set an alarm on it. But if it broke that line, I need to see a higher high than this one. I'd see a high and then a higher low than back here. If I see a higher high, higher low, well, then I think, okay, it's possibly reversing, but we don't know yet. Just because I see a higher high, higher low, we have no idea. Now, if it comes back and breaks this high, yeah. So if we were to see higher high than this, higher low in here than this, and then an even higher high up to this level, higher low, and then a high break, I'm in long. I'm closing out my short. So do you give something back if you're in a profitable trade right here and you're up X amount? Yes, you're going to give some back. However, it doesn't matter if I give some back on that, waiting for a confirmation over here. I'm waiting for structure to build. Right now, we're in bearish structure, so it should keep moving short. I have to see bullish structure build up over here. And if I see bullish structure build up over here, yes, I'll close out my long and then I'll get in short. And again, when I see the bullish structure set up, it may well come up and form a high, a low, and pop through. And again, yes, that means I'm giving up because I'll close my short there. Yes, that means I'm giving up profit. So often do we give up profit on the runners? Some, not all. But then look at what I gained by holding the trade. So you can't have your cake and eat it too. I mean, you can't have it both ways. So that's the thing. You have to make a decision and you have to write that down. And then you have to stick to your rules, guys. I mean, you just have to stick to them. You can't change back and forth. You can't say, okay, today I wish I left runners on, because look at the great day. And then tomorrow say, well, I'm going to leave them on and I'm going to do the exact same thing I should have done yesterday. Because you know what? The market will not move the same tomorrow. Okay. So just keep that in mind. Again, that's just kind of a recap on those two trades. And I will see you in the morning for a little pre-market analysis. So I'll talk to you later. Trade safe.